Hey guys, I'm Tim.
And I'm Bob.
And this is the Board Game Rundown, and today we are going to review the Age of Atlantis. So I bought this game at a board game convention we were at, like a small one. This popped up on the flea market, and I'd kind of heard of this game before, and like the price was too good. It was a nice Kickstarter edition, so we are looking at that version. But we're reviewing this game. It's been out for a little bit. I just wanted to get it played and talk about it.
Yeah.
I would have been sad if this sat on my shelf of shame for a long time.
Right.
So in the Age of Atlantis, we are trying to gain political favor for our house while also currying favor with Poseidon, because we do not want his fury.
No.
And we're going to do that by building our buildings in different territories and deploying our workers. And we're going to get myths and put them out. And all the while, there's sort of a common goal of trying to stop the invaders that are constantly plaguing Atlantis. The Romans, the Persians, generals, reinforcements.
What have the Romans ever done for us?
Yeah. All these nasty cards in these decks as these guys move up into the board. And if they destroy a building or they get into the inner city, Poseidon gets mad and he just wipes that whole territory clean with a wave of fury.
Yes, also known as water.
As water. But yeah, so in this game, I mean, it's really what you do. You're going to start with, depending on your setup, you're going to start with an available amount of workers, and then you're going to have some workers in your pool. And your peasant workers are just going to have the one little like drama mask, that one nice little face. And they can only take actions inside the safe walls of the inner Atlantis.
Inner city, yeah.
When you upgrade them to Atlanteans, where they got the little sword on there, they're going to be able to venture out into the outskirts of the city. You could deploy them out here and take actions. So when you take a turn, you're going to deploy a worker, and then you're going to take actions based on that spot. So if there's no building there, you can't go anywhere where there's a worker. Should say that. So if you go to an empty space, there's no building there, you can spend the resources, which are all listed at the top of your player board, and build a building. Now, all the players have 4 of the same buildings they can build, right? A town hall, a mill, outpost, and a temple. And then each house is going to have a faction-specific building that they can build, which is going to help them with extra scoring at the end of the game, just different ways they can do things, right?
Different actions.
I will tell you, lean into your house abilities. Use them.
Yes.
Use them. You will not win if you do not use them. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can build a building. Awesome. Hey, let's just say I built the Capitol out here, right? So I spent those resources. I built it there. Now, you know what? I'd really like to be able to do another action. Well, he's still got morale, so I can tick him down 1. So now he's sad. But now I can take another action. Why would I do that? Well, maybe I want to gather resources at that location. So the districts have 3 different types of resources you can gain. There's wood, there's ore, and there's fish. And you can see those districts marked out on the map. There's like all these waterways through here. That's where you get fish. All the trees is where you're going to
get the ore, right?
Yeah, it's where you're going to get ore.
Okay, cool.
Or you could get wood, and then you could go up to the mountains, and you could get the ore from up there. So I could do that. I could harvest, and I could gain those resources, so I'd gain 2 for that action. Or I could spend resources, again, the same amount that it costs to build the building, and upgrade that building. And I take one of my cubes, and I would put it on the upgrade. Now, you can only upgrade for what the age you are in or behind. So in the first age, you are only able to upgrade that top row of spots. Once you're in age 2 and 3, you can develop those techs from 1 if you're in age 2, and stuff. But you can't go ahead. So you could upgrade. That's going to maybe give you extra points, modifiers. It might improve your abilities. Just different things your guys can do. Another very interesting thing that this game does is there's this Poseidon statue right here in the middle. We have the cool gold Kickstarter one, but it does come with that guy. I mean, it still looks pretty good if you didn't get the Kickstarter version. Yeah. And we've got these directional die. So you're going to randomly, at the beginning of the game, determine which way he's facing. And then, that was perfect.
It was.
And if you take an action in what's called the blessed territory, right? So if it's northeast, it's that whole triangle, that pie slice that goes out that way. You are going to basically get a free action. So the first action you take doesn't cost you anything except for what you're doing with it. It doesn't cost you any morale. Then if you're in a blessed area, instead of when I was over here trying to do that and having to tick him down, I can instead just take that extra free action. And again, now there's a town hall there. So I could pay and do one of the town hall abilities. I could upgrade the town hall. I could just harvest resources for the territory I'm in. And we're gonna take turns. I'm gonna do a thing, he's gonna do a thing. I'm gonna do a thing, he's gonna do a thing until we're out of workers or you decide to pass. If you pass, there's no getting back in. So if you have workers left and you pass, you're done, and that's fine. I haven't played enough. Haven't played enough to see if that's like a real strategy.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it
doesn't seem like a good idea.
I wouldn't recommend it. And then you're going to go through the rest of the phases. So that placing workers is just the first out of like 10 phases in this game.
But it is the longest, so it doesn't require the most explanation.
It is. Then you do Atlantean Charity. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull all our workers back. We're going to put them on our myth board, and then you are going to look at whoever is in last place in political favor, and whoever's in last place gets to upgrade the morale of one of those workers for free. So they're just going to tick up one spot. So if it's an Atlantean, which is the mask with the sword, they're just going to go up to 2 masks and a sword. And if it's the peasant and it's just a mask, they're going to go up to 2 masks. Or if they come out of that negative, they'll just go up into the single, and it's not negative. Then after you do that Atlantean Charity, you're going to check the morale. So there are building abilities which will give you political favor for having good morale. Hooray! Also, Poseidon gets mad at you if you have negative morale, so you will lose favor with him if you have negative morale. So super important. Then you just do the achievement pause. So depending on the age, we're going to look and see what we've accomplished in that age. So it's very important. In age 1, you are only getting age 1 achievements. In age 2, you're only getting age 2 achievements. Now, let's say in age 2, for example, I have already gotten down to neuroscience. Ooh. Okay, that tech. It's technically no, you can't do that because that is an age 3 tech.
Bad example,
that was a terrible example.
What if you had 17 favor?
Let's say that I had 17 favor in age 2.
Yes.
I don't get it here. But when we get to age 3, once we've hit the check achievement, if I still have 17 favor, then I would get it then and there. Yeah. So you can hit it early potentially, but it doesn't happen until you check in that age.
Proper age.
And then also us achieving that doesn't block the other players. The only thing that blocks the other players from getting those achievements is changing the age. Mm-hmm. So depending on your player count is going to determine how many achievements in each age you need before you move up. And that's cumulative, not individually. So when we played 2 players, it just took 3 achievements in an age to progress us to the next one. Mm-hmm. Then after we do the pause for that, we're going to rest our workers. So all of our workers over here on the myth board are going to flip up in a positive way if they can, which is cool. Then we'll have the military advance. So any of these military cards that are on the board are all going to move forward 1 space. And that's where we can get in trouble. So if these all move up here, now the action card, once they hit, they're just going to go away. But military cards, not great. Anytime a military card, when it advances, hits a building or the innermost circle of the city, then Poseidon is going to flood that area. If he floods that area, all players, if any area gets flooded, if all the areas get flooded, it's the same, but all players will lose 3 political favor, right?
Yep.
And then all the buildings and myths get wiped out of that area. They just come back to your board. Now, the interesting thing is when you lose a building, you don't lose all the techs.
Right. You still know how to do those things.
That you've developed. And then that's the Poseidon's Fury. If anybody now is down into that negative area of the favor, you're going to lose 10 political favor, and you're going to have to take a Fury card. If you take a Fury card, you cannot place a worker in the blessed territory that next round. That's rough. Then we'd change the blessing. We'd roll one of those die, point him into a new area. It has to change. So southwest, so he just literally goes the opposite area there. And so now this whole area is blessed, all actions in that area. Then we place new cards. So depending on the age, we would roll either 1, 2, or 3 of those directional die, and then we would deploy those cards on the outermost region and resolve them if they need resolved as they come up. And then we change first player. First player token moves, and we go again. Now, one of the things I passed over are these myths. So also at the beginning of the game, when you get your house, your player board is a particular faction. So when you get your house, you are going to, again, you're going to have your own unique building. That's very important. But you're also going to randomly get one of the 4 myths that are in the game. So there is the Centaur, the Minotaur, the Pegasus, and then Cerberus. So Cerberus is really good at gathering. The Centaur gives you glory and helps you raise morale and things like that. The Minotaur will potentially can attack everybody in a territory, which is awesome. And then the Pegasus does like a shuttle action. So you can, when you take the Pegasus action, you will actually get to then take another worker that you have available and place them anywhere on the board, including a space that is already occupied by another worker, because that Pegasus just drops them off. It just can't be the guy in there. So all the myths are very powerful. They're expensive, but you get a ton of points for putting them out on the board. And that's even an achievement later. So really cool. Another really important thing that I think is really unique and easy to forget with this game is that once a building's on the board, right, no other building can be placed there. But if I don't build a temple and Bob has a temple, I can send my worker to his temple and take any of the temple actions that I have technology research for. And I can also research my own technologies at his temple and then upgrade my board that way as well. So that's really interesting and easy to overlook, easy to kind of forget that you have that ability. The only buildings you can't do that at are the faction-specific buildings, right? So mine was the Capitol building, which was this guy. Bob had a tavern, which is over there. Yeah, I don't get to go in. Well, I can go in and drink. I just can't do anything there.
Sure. You can't submit contracts.
Nope.
Or last call.
Nope. Can't do any of that fun stuff. So yeah, and again, right, all the player boards have all these different things. Another fun thing about this rule book is solid. It is really solid. And for a game this crunchy, this is the whole rule book right here. Now, where you get into the real meat and potatoes is this sheet right here, which explains all of the building actions.
All of them.
And it even has the myth special actions broke down. It's got boss cards, action cards, and each individual house bonus. So you can see all that information right here, and it's really clean. They also have a really nice player reference or a reference guide for your player board on the other side. We didn't even need it.
Nope.
Like the player boards make so much sense. And the way that they break down all the actions right here is so clean. It's really good. And again, these the rules are really straightforward. Another thing they do give you, and we only used a little tiny bit of it, is there's a scenario and a variant booklet. So we used the express mode variant. So we started with an extra worker. We started with an Atlantean. That kind of sped things up a little bit for us. You can do a low luck blessing. So when you, instead of rolling the die, Poseidon is just going to move clockwise 3 territories every time. So if you want to take that luck out of that, he just rotates. Then there's an alternative challenge map on the other side. There are more city spaces on the map, and then all the rules stay the same. So more of those. Then there's a permanent flooding variant. So the permanent flooding, you put these out on areas that have been flooded. you can't do anything with those areas anymore. And then if you lose, everybody loses if all the areas get flooded.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
I'm reading that over there. That's interesting.
Fully co-op mode.
Yeah.
Team mode.
That's pretty sweet.
So you could play teams. You could play full co-op. There is a Play-Doh, which is your artificial opponent. So you can play 1v1. Or you could add them to a 2 or 3 player game to kind of give you an extra player at the table.
Sure.
Clog stuff up.
Right.
There's a solo campaign mode.
Okay.
There's also a multiplayer campaign mode.
So crazy.
So all kinds of stuff in this box, which doesn't look like it's big enough to contain all these goodies.
Right.
And that rule book is so easy, yet this game is really crunchy.
It's so concise. Like it's nice. Like,
It's
take notes, people.
almost a perfect. It's almost a perfect rule book.
Almost, yeah.
It is almost a perfect rule book. All right, Bob. Why don't you give us some of your thoughts on the Age of Atlantis?
Yeah. So I mean, first off, these components are amazing, right? Like first, I'm gonna be honest. I saw these and I was thinking like they're dice, and I'm like, oh, they're wood
Dice,
I don't wanna
garbage.
roll those garbage, but they're not. They're just workers, right? So like a meatball, it's okay, it's square. Oh, and it also has like little pluses and minuses. So if you're increasing your happiness, it tells you which way to flip it to get to the positive. You got to take it down. It tells you which way to take it down to the negative. So that's super handy. It was very cool the way that you kind of like, you make them do more actions. They get kind of upset and they start to tick the morale down. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I love the asymmetry and how you can mix them. So yes, each board is a different house. They have different house names and they all have very different asymmetrical.
They all do way different
little buildings.
things.
Yes, and yes, some of these are the same. But like Tim's saying, it's cool because he built a temple and I didn't. I just kept going to his temple and clogging it up and doing all my actions there. It's like thanks for the temple, and he couldn't get his third guy out there because I was constantly going there.
Yeah,
and it was very frustrating for him. So I always enjoy that.
'Twas.
And then the fact that you can intermix the myths, right? So I can play the same house and then use a different myth that has a completely different type of asymmetrical ability, and they're fantastic, right? And so these town halls have an ability to where you can like pull workers off. So if you've got like one of your myths in a space in the same place as your town hall, I could take a bunch of myth actions and then I go to my town hall, pull that other guy off, and I can go do more myth actions again. And it was just really neat to kind of like try to combo that and extend your turn. The dual layer player boards are nice; they don't curl or bend. These little house peoples, they're pretty good. Silk screen on 2 sides maybe would have been nice, but I mean that's just nitpicking.
Right.
And the little your resource trackers could have been a little thicker because they're a little thin, but again, just that's nitpicky. Other than that, though, I mean it's not fiddly, right? Because you're moving them along this track. And
they stay in there pretty good.
Yeah, you're not like, okay, here's 3. Okay, give me 4 back. It's just slide them up, slide them down. And so
I love the slider
trackers. Yeah,
for
like
the
that.
trackers.
Instead of having to do a bunch
I'm
of
starting to see more games kind of do that.
Yeah.
And so instead of grabbing like 6
a whole bunch of
here,
count them
right?
out, which just adds that fiddliness.
Just boop, 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 boop.
But no, like I really enjoyed this game. It was a ton of fun. The worker placement aspects, I enjoy that. The sort of semi-co-op of, because I've got buildings here, Tim's got buildings here. So we don't want those monsters coming in and flooding that zone and hurting everybody.
Right.
So you got to try to work together a little bit for that. There's a lot of different ways to earn points by putting your buildings out, by fighting monsters, by having favor. There's just a lot of different ways to earn those points. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to ask you after we're done filming here who you got this game off of.
Yeah,
that is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't really have anything real negative to say about it. That rule book was great. When he showed me that rule book, and it's literally just like one page.
Yeah, I was like, Bob, can you handle this rule book?
I mean, yeah, granted it's big, right? But I mean, other than that though, that was great. But the biggest complaint I have,
we do have one complaint:
the color of the dice, right? So these yellow cubes, way easy to tell from Tim's green cubes, right? Piece of cake. But my yellow dice and his green dice, they look virtually the same.
Yeah,
to
because
me.
your cube, your workers are like more of like a brownish.
Yeah, it's like they took them and rolled them in dirt.
Versus that bright yellow.
Right. And so, when I went to pull them off the board the first round, I was like, wait a minute, which ones are mine? He's like, you can't tell. And I was like, no, I mean, these like are maybe slightly darker, but just like there's maybe a shadow cast on it. But it's like, what happened to the yellow paint? Did they run out? Do they drop it in some dirt or something?
Right.
Like, and I mean, that's unfortunately going to have to cost it.
So when we played, I switched.
He switched to the blue dice.
To blue dice just because it was easier. But those were the only ones that gave him trouble. We pulled out all the other ones.
Yeah, the rest of them are perfectly fine. If I own this, I might even like go through with like my marker and just put like a black pip or something in the top corner of all the faces, so I know which ones are that color.
Right.
Because like I said, I mean, like that's easy to tell. It's super bright
It's
yellow.
bright.
But what happened? You know,
What
that's,
happened?
Yeah,
I don't know why.
What happened? But I mean, other than that though, like this was great. Like I mean, I don't know. And the insert was good too. It looked like.
Yeah, the insert was great.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it holds both of those very easily.
It does.
It does hold them both easily. That's funny.
Yeah, there's room.
But yeah, I mean, even like the non-Kickstarter version, that is a pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, he looks
statue.
good.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is amazing though. Like this is solid metal.
It is solid. It's
got a little
chunky.
weight to it.
Yeah. But no, I was very, very impressed with this. So.
Yeah. So when I saw this game was for sale and I scooped it up, I was like, even if this game sucks, it's beautiful.
It looks cool.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I was like doing a bunch of research on it. I'm like, this game sounds really fun. Like sounds really cool and kind of right up my alley. And I know Bob and kind of games he likes. And it's like, man, I just feel like we would have a really good time playing it. Mm-hmm. This game did not disappoint.
Nope.
I absolutely love this game. I got housed by Bob
He did too.
in this game. But it's because I didn't do any of my unique player stuff because I was having so much fun doing all the other things.
Yeah.
Which is fine because that's a testament to a great game. Also, even though the turns are kind of crunchy, it didn't overstay its welcome.
No.
I like when Bob is going, you know, like, and he's taking a minute to, you know, figure out what he's doing. Well, I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to do still, you know, and I like to take fast turns. And there was definitely turns where it's like, okay, no, I need to do this. I need to do this. And because of that sort of like blocking mechanic.
Once you know somebody's going somewhere and taking action in that spot, you can be like, okay, so where else can I go?
Yeah.
What actions can I take?
And what's useful, you know, but that's also like a great, for me, that is a really good level of player interaction. You know, like, yes, I was frustrated because Bob wouldn't build his frickin' temple and he kept using mine.
I didn't. Why should I? You built one for me.
Yeah, it was perfectly good. It was a great temple.
Great temple.
But, you know, like that was a legit strategy for Bob, though, because he was able to put that out and then he was still using all of those abilities to maximize his turn. So it wasn't even just like, oh, I'm screwing Tim over and I'm doing this. Like he was actually still really doing useful things there. And there's a couple of times where I blocked his thing because I needed some resources and it was like a great place to go.
I could use those.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's the right amount of player interaction and push and pull. I love these player boards. I love the way the texts work. I was so impressed with how all the buildings work. And I constantly kept finding new abilities like, oh, wait a minute.
I can do what?
Like, that looks cool. What is that again?
Yeah. Sacrifice. Wait.
And on a lot of these, I mean, they really do, if you understand the iconography and you understand what they're saying, like these are really clean.
Yeah.
Like they really are very clear and succinct with what they want you to do. We barely put out new workers, and I know that I stopped Bob from wanting to do that.
I was just about to do it, and he's like, I'm going to put this tax thing here, so if you spend 7 fish to build a worker, I'm going to gain those 7 fish. And I was like, I was literally about to go get fish
should have done
to
the
get a new
dang
worker.
myth tax.
I know, so that's why I turned, I tweaked it. I was like, well, okay, fine. I guess I'm going to the myth instead.
I was so bad. I should have thrown that myth tax out right away. But just really cool things. The components are great.
Yeah, these things are amazing.
The cards are perfect for what they do, right?
Yeah, you're like, oh, little square cards, but the way they need to fit on the board and move up, it makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah. It's functional.
Do you know if the non-Kickstarter has these dudes?
Well, I don't know if they're
cardboard
painted
shits?
or not.
Oh,
no,
sure.
No, I think they still hold because they're
die?
made to hold your worker. So
Okay.
I'm 99% sure they are still going to be like that.
Just curious.
Asking for a friend. But yeah, man, this game, this has been a very strong year of like new to me games. And this is like right up.
It's up there.
That's up there. I am going to take
2022 release.
to Origins.
I was like, is
try to
this
get
it? And he's like,
played.
yeah, that's it. I was like, okay, so I put it in my BG stats.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get this played
so I got to
again.
put it in there.
Well, yeah, you got to. I got good teacher awards. So I kind of won.
There you go. I'll get you a trophy.
Yeah. So when I teach it and play with new people and lose again next time,
that's right.
I still win.
Still a good teacher.
the Good Teacher Award. It's still a W.
Still a W.
Just, we're not saying
It's
what kind.
lowercase W, but
It's
still
a
a W.
lowercase for sure. All right, Bob, we need to rate this game. How do we do that at the Board Game Rundown?
Great question, Tim. Here at the Board Game Rundown, we're going to give this game a score between 0 and 10.
Actually, 0.5. We got somebody asked us if Board Game Geek lets you do zeros, and it doesn't, but you could do a 0.5.
We're going to go between 0.5. It won't be a 0 or a 0.5. I'll tell you that right now. Spoiler
It
alert.
will not be.
So 0.5 and 10, and yes, we will be using 0.5s in there. We're going to take our score, we're going to average it together, and that is going to be what the Board Game Rundown gives it on BGG and things of the like.
Awesome, Bob.
Yeah.
What do you rate the Age of Atlantis?
I want to rate this game a 9, but with the obvious problem of the dice being the wrong color and not being able to tell the workers apart, which is important, I'm going to give it an 8.5.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Because your initial score is the correct one. I'd definitely give this a 9, and this could be a 9.5 after a couple more plays.
Sure, I see how the interaction with more people.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly though, at 2 players, this game was rocking.
Yeah.
I was a little like, I don't know, sometimes these kind of games don't always work super well at the lower
counts, especially when you can use other people's buildings.
But you know, and then because there's the option for the dummy player if you want. And I'm like, I don't want to mess with a dummy player. I just want to play. But this board still felt really crowded, even with just 2 players.
Yeah,
and it felt tiny. This board felt so small, and then it felt huge when all the invading armies come out.
How do all those armies on the board?
Like,
roll the mythics.
Oh man! But yeah, we were standing up playing this game for most of it. I mean, we were just into it.
Yep.
It was a great vibe and a really good time.
Yep. So averaging our score together, it's going to be an 8.8, which is really friggin' solid.
Yeah, man. I cannot wait to play this game again. I really can't.
Yep.
This was really, really good.
We'll fix these dice. If we have to play 4 players, we're going to have to fix those dice.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah,
the other thing is
just let you guys take yours off first, and then I take what's left.
Yeah, I guess you could do that. Could do that.
Oh, why do you guys keep leaving me all the sad ones?
well, but now game is going to kind of break your rule where you always want to play as the yellow faction.
This is true.
Because you're going to need to try out those other boards.
Yeah, give me them blue ones or the whatever the other color.
Yeah, the
I don't remember.
reddish.
Was it reddish?
Yeah.
Sure.
Like
I can tell it apart, which is crazy because usually it's the red-green I have an issue with. But the fact that the yellow, which is normally the easiest for me to see, which is why I usually play yellow, is just not good.
Yeah. Oh.
Anyways.
Alas. Anyways, guys, Age of Atlantis was really good. Can't wait to play it more. It's beautiful on the board. It's very easy to learn.
Yeah.
And there's lots of really, really, really interesting choices and strategies.
Yep.
They even give you these little strategy cards.
Do you want to go for this kind of
military victory?
This kind of victory?
Morale victory. Resource victory. And then if you've got the Play-Doh, if you're playing with that dummy player, whether you're playing solo or using him in a 2 to 3 player game, it's got a little walkthrough card for him. I mean, they spare, and there's a favor victory as well.
Nice.
So just all different ways and strategies you can lean into to do things. So really cool.
Yeah.
A lot of bang in a relatively reasonably sized box. So all right, guys. Well, that's all I've got to say about the Age of Atlantis. So for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
Bob.
I'll see you next time.